Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome back to another video. This is the Insta360 Flow Pro, and in this video, you're going to learn how to use this gimbal. If you're looking for an honest review, you can go ahead and take a look at this other video instead. Charge the device using the supplied cable connected to this USB-C port next to the gimbal's control panel. When the gimbal is charging, you will see these lights blinking, and when it's fully charged, all the lights will stay solid. To fully charge the gimbal, it will take about 2 hours. Use the magnetic clamp and place it in the middle of the phone. The clamp should be straight and this icon has to point towards the camera. To unfold the gimbal, grab this arm and twist it upward. To make things easier, you can attach a tripod at the bottom like this, but this gimbal has a built-in tripod that you can use by pulling and extending the legs. The gimbal will now go into standby mode. Place the phone in a vertical position, making sure that this notch is aligned with the top section of the clamp. Once you place the phone on the gimbal, it will balance itself automatically, and now it should be ready to be used. Download the Insta360 app on your iPhone or Android device. Make sure that Bluetooth is on, and the first time you open the app, you will need to follow the indications to activate your new gimbal and update the firmware if one is available. The power button is located in the front panel. Press and hold for 2 seconds to power on or to power off the gimbal. You can also check the battery level by pressing this button once. Each light represents about 25% of battery power, and this can be done when the gimbal is on or off. If you press the power button twice, the gimbal will go into standby mode. If you have an iPhone, you can pair the phone with the gimbal by touching the NFC tag located at the top of the pan motor on the gimbal with the top corner of your phone next to the cameras. A pop-up window will appear. Press continue and wait for a few seconds for the process to finish. Your iPhone should be ready and it will remember this connection, so you won't need to do this again. This feature will allow you to use the tracking using the native camera app as well as other third-party apps where the camera can be used. To do this, open the app that you want to use. Press the trigger once to activate the tracking, and a green light will flash slowly when it's on. To stop tracking, press the trigger once and the green light will turn off. This tracking system only works on humans. For animals, objects, or if you're using an Android device, you need to use the tracking inside the Insta360 app. You can use the trigger to activate it, or you can draw a box on the screen on the subject that you want to track. The Flow Pro will position your subject in the middle of the frame, but you can change the composition when you're tracking. To do so, use the joystick to move the camera and have your subject in the position that you want. To stop tracking, you can press the trigger once, or you can tap the X on the corner of the green box. The trigger also has other functions. If you double press it, it's going to recenter the camera. If you press it 3 times, the phone is going to flip all the way around. And if you press, release, and hold the trigger, it will enter a sport mode. And this will make the gimbal react faster to your movements, which is useful for fast-moving subjects or if you need to reframe as quick as possible. Around the control panel, this wheel is going to let you zoom in or zoom out. On the Insta360 app, you can go inside the settings to change this feature, so instead of zooming, you can use the wheel to focus manually. In the middle of the control panel, there is a joystick that will move the camera to the left, right, up, or down. On the right side, this button will switch between the rear and the front-facing camera, and pressing it twice will change the orientation of the smartphone to horizontal or vertical mode. On the left side, this is the shutter button. Press it once to start or stop recording a video or take a picture if you are in photo mode. The Insta360 Flow Pro has 5 gimbal modes. Auto mode is a beginner-friendly mode that automatically adjusts the tilt and pan axis settings based on your movements. On follow mode, the raw axis is going to be locked, so the gimbal will follow your movement when you pan and tilt. This mode is useful to make tilt reveal shots, for example, to tilt up or down from the ground. On pan follow mode, the tilt and the roll axes are going to be locked, so the gimbal will follow your movement when you pan left or right. This mode is useful for panning movements, to make orbit movements, and is also ideal for vlogging videos. On FPV mode, all three axes are unlocked and they will follow your movement in any direction. This mode is useful for creative shots where you want to have more freedom in your movements. Using lock mode, all three axes are locked in position and the phone position will not change when you move the gimbal. To use this mode, press and hold the trigger. This mode is useful for push in or pull out videos or when you want to do side tracking shots. There are two ways to change the gimbal modes. You can select one option inside the Insta360 app. Option A. Use your finger to make a semicircle movement clockwise to change to the next gimbal mode, or counterclockwise to change to the previous one. Option B. Double tap the right or left side of the touch panel to change to the next or previous gimbal mode. Please be aware that there is a difference between pressing and tapping. When you press, you will feel a button, and when you tap, you're just touching the surface. The extension rod is useful to show more background when doing selfie videos. To use it, hold the pan motor and pull the extension upward. At the top, you can adjust this hinge to set the angle that you need. This extension rod can also be useful to take low-angle shots. For this, flip the gimbal upside down. To use inception mode, select FPV mode on the gimbal and using the zoom wheel, you can make the camera spin clockwise or counterclockwise. If you want to use the gimbal to charge your smartphone, you can use this port to connect the gimbal with your smartphone using a USB-C cable. On this arm, you can open a door to access a cold shoe mount, which is useful if you want to use an accessory, for example, a microphone receiver. Let's take a look at the Insta360 app. On the right side, you can select the camera modes that you want to use, for example, video mode, time-lapse, and so on. This icon will change from the main camera to the selfie one or vice versa. This icon is the shutter button. It will start or stop recording or take a picture if you're using photo mode. This icon lets you view your pictures or videos taken with the Insta360 app, and this other one will let you select the lens that you want to use. At the top, this icon is the Shot Genie, which is an AI tutorial designed to give you shooting recommendations. This icon lets you use the internal flashlight on the smartphone. The next icon lets you apply filters to your videos or pictures, and this one here is for beauty effects. The last icon will enable gesture control. It can be off, you can set it to active, or you can enable gesture control with tracking at the same time. The way to use it is to show your hand in front of the camera to start or stop recording or to take a picture. On the left column, this icon goes back to the app home screen. Down here, you can select the resolution and the frame rate that you want to use. Here you can select auto or manual settings for the shutter speed and ISO, and right below those values, you can change the white balance. The next icon is for the gimbal settings, and here you can select the gimbal mode. You can select if you want the zoom wheel to be used for zooming or to focus manually. The follow speed is how fast the gimbal will move or respond when you move it. For example, using slow will make your videos feel more cinematic, and using fast will make the gimbal more responsive. Here you can select the joystick and the zoom speed. All the way down, this will start an auto calibration. Here, you can manually adjust the horizon level if you feel that it's not straight. And here, you can turn off the ring light on the pan motor or select the level of brightness. These three dots are going to open the general settings. You can turn on or off the grid lines. This option can activate a histogram, and here you can flip the selfie video if you want to. Inside these settings, you can also change this value of when the screen will turn off when you are recording a video. To make a time-lapse, you select it on the right side, and on this menu, you're going to see a few options. Interval is the time that will pass between two shots. For example, selecting 1 second will take one shot or frame every other second. The length is the duration that you want the camera to be recording. And the last option is the time-lapse mode. Using fixed angle, the camera is not going to move. Selecting left to right or right to left will make the gimbal move slowly in that direction. And you can also select a custom motion where you can select different movements. Panorama shots can be selected on this menu. Up here, you can select to use a 3x3, 180 or 240 degrees for your picture. And the last option is a 360 sphere shot. I hope that you found this video useful. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. I hope you have an amazing day and I hope to see you soon. Bye.